Hey lady, I'm Jamie and this is the Everyday Queen podcast. Have you ever had the feeling that you are destined for so much more from your life? Like you know you're here to do epic things and really make a difference, but there's something inside you that holds you back and keeps you playing in your comfort zone. If this sounds familiar, I want you to know you are totally in the right place. I created this podcast to share the stories of women just like you. Women who have faced the trials and tribulations of life, overcome their limiting beliefs, and are now bringing their vision boards to life. In between these epic interviews, I will share with you my own ponderings and stories, coupled with actionable tips and tricks on how you can shift your doubt into pure, inspired action towards your dreams. Are you ready? Let's do it. Hey lady, welcome back to another episode of the Everyday Queen podcast. And today I am here solo to bring you some musings because I'm feeling a little fired up today. I'm fired up after seeing a post in a group where it was essentially a woman in business calling out other women in business who were choosing to do things in a different way to what she saw as the right way to do business. And for me, this is a huge issue because there's this massive movement at the moment where everyone's out there hashtagging women supporting women, and there are so many groups on Facebook where it is literally all about female entrepreneurs supporting other female entrepreneurs. And the pattern that I'm seeing is so reoccurring in that there are people out there claiming that what they're doing is supporting other women in business, when in fact they're actually not. Because for me, true support of other women in business comes from, number one, accepting that everyone does business differently, and that just because someone else's business doesn't look like your business or what you think a business should look like, does not mean that it is wrong or any less deserving of your support. Now, before anyone even tries to call me out on this, yes, a few weeks ago, I released an episode called MLM Behind the Glam. And in that episode, I shared Molly's story on what her experience was with a particular network marketing company. And she spoke very, very openly about some of the predatory tactics and sales strategies that she was recommended and told to do in order to grow her business. Now, at the beginning of that episode, I did preface it by saying that the episode was not about calling people out. The episode was about sharing Molly's experience and her story and her learnings in hope that if you're stuck in the same position that she was in, where her mental health was being affected by what she was being told to do, that you felt supported and you felt like you had an out too. The episode was in no way shaming women for joining network marketing companies. Now, what I'm seeing out there over and over and over in social media and Facebook groups and pretty much everywhere online is this massive us against them mentality between people who are running bricks and mortar standard businesses, people who are running online coaching style service-based businesses, and women who are in network marketing. And it needs to stop. I applaud you for your absolute conviction that your way of doing business is the best way of doing business. I really do. I really take my hat off to you for being so empowered by your choices and feeling so strongly about it. And you know what? That very much could be your key to success, because we know how important mindset is in business. However, what I do not support is when your conviction of your business is actually tearing other women's businesses down. I don't really care what structure your business is. What I care about is that you are using it to do good. And if you are out there saying that you're supporting other women in business, that you're supporting women in all kinds of businesses. Because the truth is, There is plenty of success for us all to share. We really can all get to the top and all live the lives that we are destined to live and we're dreaming of living. But we can't do it by continually tearing each other down and with the mentality that my way of doing things is better than your way of doing things. Because we also all can't be the same. We need to be out there sharing our own voice and our own style of doing things. But just because your way is different to someone else's way of doing things doesn't make either of you right or wrong. You might think that your style of business or the structure of your business is the best way to do business. And guess what? It might be the best way. It's the best way for you. And at the end of the day, that is all that's important. It doesn't matter that someone else thinks that the best way for them to do business is through their service-based coaching business, or that someone else thinks that their product-based business or their bricks and mortar actual shop business is the better way to do business. At the end of the day, the best way to do business is the best way for you, the way that fits into your life and the way that's meeting your needs and your dreams and your goals. Now, I want to add to this conversation that caring what other people think and feeling threatened almost by people who are doing things differently to you or differently to how you think things should be done is completely normal. And in fact, it is our brains. Our brains are wired that way. Our brains are wired to keeping us safe. And if you actually go way, way, way back in time, obviously one of the key elements to surviving in what was once a very dangerous world was to belong to a group, because in caveman days and in general, right, there's power in numbers. And so to stay in a group or a community, you had to conform. You had to be the same as everyone else. It was for the safety of the greater good or the greater community that you were like everyone else. And the only way to know that you are like everyone else is to be constantly comparing yourself to them. Now, obviously, we don't live in the cave days anymore. We are not faced with danger to our lives. Well, most of us are not faced with danger to our lives every single day. And yet we've still carried this need to be the same and to be in constant comparison through into our lives now. Now, the whole point of me even raising this subject is to let you know that yes, comparison is normal. Judging people is normal. But it's what you do from there that you have full control and choice over. You can choose to look at another woman's business and see that it's different to yours. And maybe you don't necessarily agree with the way that her business is structured or the way that she is choosing to build out her courses or her products or whatever it is. But you can also then choose to just accept it for what it is, accept that she is doing things in the best way that she can for her and for her situation, and then you can choose to let it go. You do not have to turn around and tear her down because her business is different to yours, or because she is doing business in what you think is a harder way than what your business is. And maybe you've been in her shoes and it didn't work for you, but you found something that is working for you now. You still don't get to tear her down. She needs to walk the path that she's on. She has her own journey to success. Cool. If you've got an offer that you think could help her out, by all means, put it out there in a loving and kind and genuine, authentic way. And then respect her answer. Respect her decision to do things in her own way and to continue to forge her own path, whether that is aligned with yours or not. Because to me, that is the true essence of women empowering other women. It is allowing women the choice and the freedom to choose their own path, to not conform to the everyday expectations of society, and to do what lights them up and what is in their heart and bring to life their dreams, and literally just being on the side cheering them on, regardless of whether they're doing it the way you think they should or not. For anyone out there who is in business and listening to this, you know that it's hard. Like, business is not easy. It would be so much easier to just go and get a job and live your life in the standard 9-to-5 grind. And the thing is that if you have built a business, or you're building a business, or you've got a business idea that you really want to bring to life, my guess is that you are like me and you feel like you're here for so much more, and you know you have so much more to give, and you know that you weren't put here to live a standard life. And that is no judgment on anyone who chooses to stay in a 9-to-5 job. Like, you do you. You live your life, you make your dreams come true, however the heck you think you need to do it. But for the women who are doing it through some form of business, you know that it is bloody hard. And for the most part, a lot of you don't have the support as it is that you need, or that you thought you would get when you launched your business. Like, how many times do you post selfies or family pictures or even funny memes on your Facebook and get like hundreds of likes and comments? And then you post something about your business and it's like freaking crickets. Like, it happens all the time. It happens to me, and I have an amazing, amazing support community around me. So my challenge to you is that next time you see someone doing business differently to you and you feel that trigger, and you feel the criticism come up in your mind, and you feel the judgment pop up, push it down. Instead of letting it overflow and falling into this cycle of just harsh judgment, criticism, and negativity, push it down, let it go. It's not your business how someone else runs their business. What is your business is to love and support that woman for freaking chasing her dreams, because there is room for us all at the top. But the only way we can all get there is by banding together and empowering one another to do good things, to make our dreams come true, to create that epic freaking life that we are working so damn hard to create. So I'm going to sign off there. Thank you for listening to my rant. And I want to say to anyone who is sitting out there in podcast land, listening to this and totally resonating and feeling like you don't have the support in your business that you thought you would, I want you to know that I see you. And I created a beautiful community for women just like you on Facebook, so that you can come in and you can celebrate with us, and you can be celebrated, you can vent, you can talk about your shit days, you can share your wins, like, you name it. That is what we do in my community. So I invite you, if you feel called, to come and join us. The link for my group will be in the show notes. It is called Everyday Queens, Women in Business Creating Their Dream Life. I would so love to see you on the inside. And thank you again for tuning into another episode with me. I'll speak to you soon. Thanks for listening, lady. If you love this episode as much as I loved recording it, please leave me a review on iTunes. For more inspiration, come and join me on Instagram at Jamie Lee White, or in my VIP Facebook community, Everyday Queens, Women in Business Creating Their Dream Life, where I share all of my business and mindset advice. Until then, have a beautiful week.